Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Miser's Guide to Evony. In today's video, we are talking about Keep 21, which is arguably the most important keep level since Keep 11. There's a lot going on, there's a lot to discuss, so this will be a bit more informative than some of the last couple ones during this dry spell of keep levels that we've had. So we're going to talk about the required buildings, the resource costs for Keep 21, the unlocked buildings and features, and finally we have some things to talk about. We're going to think ahead to future keep levels, and I'll make some recommendations and commentary around this keep level and some of the features that are now unlocked. Building requirements for Keep 21 are walls 20, sawmill 20. You don't have to have every sawmill to 20, just one, but the walls, of course, are always there, taunting us and forcing us to build them for the next keep level. The resource requirements are increasing as usual. We are over 10 million of each resource for just the keep, the other resources. So we have food at 10.4 million, and we have lumber, stone, and ore that are now at 12 million each. And this is just for the keep. Now the other buildings included, the walls 20 and sawmill 20 in addition to the keep 21, we're looking at about 18 million food, 19 million wood, 20.5 million stone, and 20.3 million ore. All right, let's talk about the unlocked buildings. Very briefly, I'll just discuss what each of these buildings does, and we're going to have a more in-depth talk later in the commentary section about the pasture because there is some stuff to discuss there. So the pasture is a building which allows you to unlock spirit beasts and dragons. And you're not going to see dragons until further on, but you will unlock spirit beasts pretty quickly in the game. So as you level up, it will unlock certain spirit beasts that you can use. There's one specific to each of the types of military troops. So there's one that's focused around siege units, one that's focused around archers, one that's focused around cavalry, and one that's focused around ground troops. Now they all have their increases to defense, percentage defense, and HP and attack and all that stuff, but some of them also, all of them also have a side effect. And I'll talk about that later and what you really want to focus on. The research factory is a building that has a couple different functions. One of the functions is that it allows you to produce materials. The higher level the research factory is, the better quality materials that you can produce. You actually get to choose which material you want to produce, but the highest quality that you can produce is the blue. So it's a pretty slow process. It's not as effective as I hope it would be. I would like to see at least at like 35, the research factory should be doing purple or even possibly red quality materials that take longer. But it is what it is. So that is one of the functions of it. Another function of the research factory is that it functions kind of like the daily activity in the tavern. There are some very, simple and sometimes not simple quests that you can do to get some monarch experience and some small rewards. Just check it out. It alternates every once in a while, but you can find that in the research factory, and it is worthwhile to do them if they're easy enough to get done, because monarch experience is something that you're going to want to accumulate. The other part of the research factory is that you can purchase research stones with gems. Now, even though this thing exists, I wouldn't usually suggest that you do that because it costs a lot to do that. It costs a lot of gems, and there are better uses of your gems. And also, research stones are fairly easy to get if you are participating in Vikings. So I would not use that feature of the research factory at all. Okay, let's move on to talk about the unlocked features at Keep 21. When you're at Keep 21, you unlock the PvP battle daily activity. And all that means is if you're participating in PvP battles, whether defensively or offensively, you get daily activity points. For someone that's growing and doesn't have a lot of military, or even someone that isn't very strong, it's not a daily activity that you probably want to do because it's really designed on making you lose troops, so you have to spend more to buy more troops. So unless you already are participating and it's just a whole bunch of free daily activity points, there are better daily activities to look out for. Okay, thinking ahead to other keep levels. So we have Barracks 22 that will be required for Keep 23. We have Stables 23 required for Keep 24. Academy 24 is required for Keep 25. And Watchtower 25 is required for Keep 26. And that asterisk means that Watchtower 25 also has an additional requirement. So not only will you have to build Watchtower 25 and Walls 25 at Keep 26, but you will also have to make one of your farms. You'll have to get it up to Keep. Why am I saying Keep? You'll have to get your farm up to 25 to be able to build your Watchtower 25, which is required for your Keep 26. So it's a hidden requirement that you need to do. And I just want to point that out, and that's what the asterisks mean. Okay, moving on. Recommendations and commentary. Finally, the important stuff here that you're probably watching this video to find out. You've unlocked the pasture at Keep 21. The first thing you're going to want to do is level that pasture up to 11. You don't have to go beyond that. 11 is pretty quick. You can get that done within an hour, or if you're speeding up, even less, if you're in an active alliance. And the reason that we want to get it up to 11 is because you will unlock the Bird of Hurricane Spirit Beast. Now, I talked about this briefly, what the Spirit Beasts are, earlier in the video, but we don't really care for the fact that it improves our cavalry. That's not why we want this. We want this because it improves our double drop rate of whichever general you're attaching it to. And double drop rate means overall you're going to get more speed ups, more boss chests, and more resources from your boss chests and so on. So you want to increase that double drop rate as much as possible as you are growing. So pasture to 11, get your Bird of Hurricane. And if you have excess gems, you can upgrade it a little bit to maybe like blue, and also put your Spirit Beast experience all into the Bird of Hurricane, because the higher level it is and the higher quality it is, the more double drop rate you will get for your general. If you don't know how to attach the Bird of Hurricane, all you have to do is go into your generals menu, find the general you're going to attach it to. I recommend your Cleopatra. If you're following this guide, you should have it from these mysterious puzzles that we do. And the very top left, you'll see a circle that is gray. You click on that and you attach your Spirit Beast. That will just improve your double drop rate for every boss rally that your Cleopatra now joins. Okay, so we talked about pasture, and I did mention that there are other Spirit Beasts. We're not going to worry about those just yet. They're not as important as the Bird of Hurricane for growth. We are also going to eventually unlock dragons. We don't need to worry about that just now, but know that at, I think, around Keep 25, you will be able to unlock your first dragon. And if you are really interested in getting a dragon for PvP or otherwise in the future, then one thing you could do is start saving up gems. One of the dragons is going to cost about, I think it's 300,000 gems. So if you are following my strategy and you're not bubbling, you don't have troops, you will stockpile gems, and that will be very useful for the future. But the dragon is not the most important thing. It's just something cool that you will want later when you're a higher keep level and making military. Okay, moving on, let's talk about research. So we don't have any required research anymore, but I have said in the last couple of videos that you should even still be working toward your super advanced dispatch, which is that extra march that you will get at Academy 25. So work down just like we were doing for the required research before, and just do the bare minimum to get to the next tier so that you can get your super advanced dispatch as soon as you can. And of course, that also means you should be upgrading your academy as you go. All right. Other than that, you should be focusing on advancement research like construction and typography. And if you've been doing pretty good on those, the other thing you could be working on is in-city production, all the in-city tiles, like just increasing their output so that you're producing more resources. And we're not worried about resource production just yet, but getting that research done ahead of time will make it so that when we do start on our in-city production, you will be very effective at it. Okay, the next super important thing that I want to talk about for Keep 21 is now we are at Forge 21. So I told you in the last video, and I think the one before that, you should be upgrading your Forge gradually, because at Keep 21, other than the Pasture to 11, we want to get our Forge to 21 as quickly as possible. The reason for that is because now you have unlocked the ability to craft King's gear. And we don't care about all of the King's gear necessarily, but what we do care about is the King's ring. If you are in an active alliance that runs a lot of different bosses, you probably have picked up some King's scroll chests, and you'll find those in your inventory somewhere. Hopefully from those you will get a few King's rings that you have so that you can craft them. And if you do, then jump right in there and craft your King's ring. If you have multiple, then I even recommend that you consider speeding up your King's ring and getting those rolled out as quickly as possible, because yes, it will cost you speed ups initially, but it's an investment. The earlier you get your double drop rate increased, the more double drop chests you'll get and the more speed ups you will get. And so over a period of time, it's going to pay itself off. Definitely use all the crafting speed ups, and if you want to speed up more, that really depends on whether you have additional King's scrolls that you can use. If you don't, you might want to just let it tick. But if you do have like 3 scrolls for some reason, then you might choose to speed up the first 2 and let the third one just tick so that you can get King's rings starred and on your double drop generals as soon as possible to maximize the amount of stuff you're bringing back from bosses. All right, that is about all I have for Keep 21. It was a bigger one for sure. There was a lot to talk about. Keep 21 is a big keep level. If you have questions about any of this stuff, I know this is a bigger one and we're getting to harder concepts and a lot of things are starting to happen. If you need additional support, then hop over to the Misers Discord. There's a lot of people there. I'm there sometimes that can help you out, answer general questions that you might have about this stuff. Thank you for watching, and I always want to say a special thank you to the channel members that are supporting Miser's Guide to Evony. Even all the subscribers, thank you very much for watching. It is wonderful to do that. But if you also want to be a channel member and support the channel, then you can click the join button and check out the perks that include a bunch of different things that you get as a thank you for being a member, including at the higher level, I can do like one-on-one conversations and screen shares with people to give them support on how to improve their own game. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which is Keep 22.